Hey there. So today what we're going to look at is we're going to take another dive into game engines. And what I'm going to do is this is a little bit older game engine, but it's kind of a fun one. It's pretty darn easy to use. And you can actually get some pretty decent looking results in a short order of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a small level in it and show you kind of how the tools work. It's very, very inexpensive. I got it in a bundle deal with some DLC a while back, and I just never installed it or used it until just recently. It's called Game Guru Classic, and the reason I haven't used it is because I've been more of a Game Guru Max because of the newer technology in it and the much more robust capabilities of Game Guru Max. You could do a lot more with it. However, I recently just poked at this one because I needed another, I haven't done a game engine video for quite a while, so I thought I would do one. And also, I wanted to do third person, and I just wanted to take a break from the Godot engine that I was working in and play around with something a little more fun, a little less learning curve. So I'm going to switch over, and here we go. So this, once you've got it installed and fire it up, you get this basic interface. You've got your toolbar at the top, you've got some sub menus here to work with, and you've got basically your selection window on the side. Very similar to a lot of game engines. And this one's pretty easy to use. So I'm just going to go over the main things here and just do a quick demo of them after I've gone over them. So basically I'll start with the side here. So this is where you add things to your maps. So you've got entities, which are things such as your trees, your buildings, your characters, your bad guys, things like that. You've got your markers, which are basically your logical, kind of pre-canned with a little bit of variability that you can adjust actions and things. So like this is where the player starts. So for instance, I'm just going to drag that, click, and I'm just going to drop that right here. Bang. Okay, so there's where the player starts. So now what I'm going to do is there's checkpoint, there's cover zone, there's multiplayer start. Yes, Game Guru Classic has some limited multiplayer. It's basically like a team match, or like you know, Quake or something, where you got 4 or 5 people and you shoot it out in a zone. But it runs through the Steam Workgroups, I think it's called, work something or another. But it runs through a Steam service. It's iffy at best. You can't do a lot of complicated stuff. You have to have, you can only use stock assets and stock DLC. So there's some issues there. However, it was a function that they chose not to put in to Game Guru Max that Game Guru Classic has. So again, if you wanted some limited player versus player action, you do have that capability in Game Guru Classic. I would like to see them add that to Game Guru Max, but add multiple ways to use it. I would like to be able to make a persistent world myself, but you know, we don't always get what we want, and maybe for version 2. There is no more development going on with Game Guru Classic, I should say. They did upgrade it to DirectX 11 a couple years ago. I remember watching the live broadcast on that. And then they have updated a bunch of the content in it to make it more DirectX 11 and a little better fidelity. So there is some of that. It has a distinctly different look when you run it than Game Guru Max does. Game Guru Max uses the Wicked engine, and I believe this was their own in-house engine that had evolved from first-person shooter creator from back in the day. So this was a whole chapter that I wasn't here. I wasn't actually in the country. I was doing some other contract work out of the country, so I missed the whole Game Guru Classic time frame. That being said, it's still pretty powerful, pretty easy. You've got your lights here, back to the sidebar, sorry, you've got your lights here. And you've got different zones you can set up: trigger zone, sound zone, sunny zones, etc., etc., floor zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up here, just to demonstrate how it works, is I'm going to just set up, what do I want to set up? I don't know what I want to set up. Heal zone, hurt zone, ambient zone, image zone. I haven't played with image zone yet. I guess I could do that. Story zone, sound zone, trigger zone, wind zone. I know there's a text zone here. I'm going to put text zone down right in front of the player. There we go. I'm actually going to move it just a little bit here. So once you've got something on the ground, what you can do is you come over here to properties. Well, first you can lock it in place so it can't move, or these things can't move. You can edit these things, so I can go like this, and I can go like this. I'm going to bring it up a bit here. I want to make sure the player walks forward into it. But basically you could shape it to the environment if you need it to be in a certain area, like you enter a closet and you just want the shape of that closet, or maybe you've got a circle altar or something, and so you can adjust those how you need to. But anyway, so I've got that. So the other thing you could do is delete it, or you can extract it and it'll pick the whole thing up and you can replace it somewhere else on the map and have that as its anchor point. But I'm going to go into properties here. Going to zoom in on it, and then over here you're going to get the properties pane, and this is for pretty much anything in Game Guru. You can see all this is whited out. You've got to do stuff here, and then you come down here to hit apply or cancel when you make a change. So what I'm going to do here is where it says sound 0, specify the sound for this entry, ensure the item is less than 18 minutes, and in here it says enter text to appear in level. Well, I found that you can enter whatever you want here. It doesn't work. You've got to enter in the sound. I don't know if that's a bug or something, but anyway, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go shoot all the bad guys and get to the house. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to hit apply changes. Now in default mode, it's actually in first person mode. There is a way to put it in third person, and I will show you that, but first we're just going to run this so you can see a quick demo. WSAD, C to crouch, F for flashlight, spacebar to jump. So flashlight on, flashlight off, C to crouch, spacebar to jump. Left, right, forward, and there we go. Shoot all the bad guys and get to the house. Step back out of there, disappears, come back in again, reappears. Shoot all the bad guys and get to the house. Okay. And I don't have any weapons equipped or anything. I don't have a player character pickup or anything like that. However, I believe that if I just go to entities, and if I go to here, and I'm just going to go to weapons, and I'm going to pick any random weapon. I'll take a shotgun because I like shotguns. Take a second to load the entity. I'll put it right in front of the walk zone. So now there's a shotgun on the ground. There's the shotgun. If I walk forward, shoot all the bad guys and get to the house. E to pick up the shotgun. Now I have a shotgun. You can see on the left is my ammo, 2 out of 5 remaining. 1 out of 5 remaining. 0 out of 5 remaining. Now I reloaded, and I used up my reload. You can see now 5 and 0 left on the reload. Alright, so that's first person. So now I'm going to delete that shotgun because I don't actually need it. Now what I want to do is I want to add an entity because I want to go into third person mode to show you what third person mode looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into entities, and I'm going to go here. So I've got characters here. I've got user characters here. It comes with a bunch. So there's a wizard, royal wizard, medieval. I've got assassin 1, assassin 2, barbarian. You can see it. Zombies, a bunch of zombies and stuff. But then down here, I've got ones that I've made. So there's character creator ones that have been created. I'm not sure what this EVE one is. User character fuse. I don't know what that is either. So these are the ones I've created in the character model. So I've got Cowboy Bob, Keith, Maga 1, Maga 2, Maga 2. So Cowboy Bob's got a 6-shooter, but what I'm going to do is I want to show you how to use the character creator because it's a part of a tool. So the first thing I want to do is just save this round, and I'm just going to call this demo. And I'm just going to save that demo because I'm going to open character creator, and if it happened to crash or something, it would be a setback. So file, and down here we've got, you can import a model, which is standard FBX format, but I'm going to go to character creator. I'm going to open that up. So now from character creator, much like Game Guru Max, if you're familiar with it, you have the ability to edit a character to be used in the game. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go head attachment, and I want to scroll down here because I want my cowboy hat, because I'm going to make a cowboy. Awesome. All right. And head, I don't care about the head. I'll leave that head alone. Facial hair, Cowboy Bob. You got some cowboy hair happening. Now you can't really see it there because it's a defaulted. So I'm going to come down here, facial hair tint, and I'm going to give Cowboy Bob facial tint. I want to go a little more. I have found it a little bit laggy here. It's not quite dark enough. I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go back in one more time because I want to come down. I want it a little darker. Good enough. I can live with that. All right. Lower clothes tint. He's got his blue jeans on. Well, cowboys do got blue jeans. We don't want to make them pink. But we're going to make them a little darker blue. Sure, I like that. But we want to leave the blue jeans. Now we want to change the shoes. I just want to make them black. Make them just black cowboy boots, even though I can't choose cowboy boots. Body. There's something in here appropriate for Cowboy Bob. I do wish that was slightly larger on my screen, but that could be a me resolution. I'm just going to go with that one. That's just a plain t-shirt, but we're going to change that. Actually, there isn't any plaid, is there? I don't want to waste too much time on this. You know what? Cowboy Jill. She's got plaid. I can go with plaid for her. If it loads up. Oh no, that's not plaid. Let's change that. I thought that was plaid. What's the problem? It's a bit hard to see it. Sure, that should work. And yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Okay, so then you come down here and you choose your weapons and stuff that you want, right? So you can have nothing, soldier pistol, whatever. Now you have to be careful here because there's only a certain amount of animations and some don't work properly. So it may be a bit of trial and error. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here. I want a shotgun. Nope. Sorry, just taking a little bit of time to find it. Ray gun, shotgun, modern shotgun. There we go. I want a shotgun. Perfect. And profile. Soldier shotgun. So that it will work. Save character. And we're going to call this Cowboy Billy. Save. Alright. Now I'll go back to editor. And now, if I go to entities, I have a Cowboy Billy. And I'm going to select Cowboy Billy. And I'm going to go OK. And now if I place him over the green arrow, see this text has popped up? Attached for third person control. So now I've got Cowboy Billy there. And we're going to just hit save. And we're going to hit play. And now I have a third person Cowboy Billy. And I got that crosshair. And you can see how that works. But there's more to it than that. So I can click on him and I can go into properties. And now in the properties panel, you have a whole bunch of things you can change. So one of the things you can do is you can change the lives, the health, blood effects, yes, regeneration rate. You can do whatever you want. Regeneration speed's 100. I think I'm going to turn regeneration rate on of 1 and regeneration rate of 10. There's a delay. I can change the speed that he moves at, which I'm going to do from 100. I'm going to move him to 150. Just feels a bit better in third person. Jump speed is a little bit slow. Gravity is 900. That's fine. Fall speed 5000. Climb angle 70. Acceleration 25. Okay, and then we come down here to third person stuff. So what you can do here is you can lock the camera so it's always behind the player. You can change the distance of the camera, so it's set at 200 right now. I'm going to set it to 400. And you can see how it zooms out now, and I've got a little more like a platformy type game than a right behind the shoulder shooty game. And you can also adjust the X and the Y offsets. So it's adjusted just a little bit off to his shoulder right now, so you can see his gun. I can adjust that wherever I want. So if I go 60, you can see it's at a whole different angle now. And so that gets kind of funky because it doesn't actually, when you choose to lock it, it doesn't lock it here. Whenever he shoots, it'll move the camera out behind him again. I don't know if that's a bug or a glitch or a feature or whatever, but it doesn't really work that great that way. So I'm going to lock this so it's 12. And I want it just slightly off so you can see the shotgun a little better when he's shooting. Camera offset Y, so that's the up and down. So if I go 200 here, it's up above him more, and you get a little more of an over-the-shoulder look than a. And you could play around with that, and make it whatever you want. If I go 400, you can see it's way more dramatic of a top-down overhead view. So if you've got things that may obscure the vision of the character and stuff, that may work better, may not work better. I'm going to drop that down myself to about, I think I want to go to 200 is fine, I think, for what I want to do in this demo game. Camera focus. So the camera focus is the X angle offset. So let's go 50 just to show you what it does. So now I'm staring right at the ground, can't really see anything. Oh, that's camera speed. Sorry. So now we're off on the X a little bit there. Changed it to 1. See how it's back now? So it's basically how much directly over top of the player it is or isn't. 10 looks about right. Run mode, yes. That just means you can run or not. Show reticule, that's the crosshair. And you can adjust where that is based on, I think it was the XY offset. So I'm going to apply these changes. Hit test. Now you can see that the reticule is basically wherever you're going to aim. So if I shoot here, so whatever you shoot at needs to be in that cross sight. So right now, I can turn the player character around and run around like an open world game. But if I come in here, and if I tell this to lock the camera, now I can move forward, but when I move backwards, oh, it didn't do it. Interesting. Actually, I want to check something here real quick. I can rotate, but the camera doesn't move on me. Okay, so it is doing what it's supposed to do. It was doing something weird on me yesterday then, so. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to do. So it's ready to rock and roll. So now, we just need to test that he's shooting properly and stuff. So what I want to do is just add an enemy. And I'm going to go up here to just zombies. We'll make it a zombie shooter, slow zombie 4. Put him down there. There we go, he's rotated. So when you want to rotate, move, or scale something, you can just click on the appropriate. So right now we're just in move mode, so when you hover over these lines, move them forward or backward, left, right, whatever. So you can scale them up. I don't know how that affects anything. You may not be able to scale those guys, but you can scale freeformed objects. Yeah. So now we're just going to test the gun. I need to back up more, because if I go here, I'm not going to shoot him because my reticule is too high in the sky. But if I run back this way, so my reticule is too high in the sky, so I need to adjust that. So that is generally where was that now? I think it was in the I think it was here. Let's try that. Nope. I just made it worse. Okay. I think it's to do with the lock camera. I think that it's keeping my reticule, my crosshair, way up in the sky. There we go. So that worked. So yeah, the problem is that I couldn't change the angle of my reticule. So what I need to do is lower it down and then lock it. So let's figure out how to do that. Let's set that to 150. Apply changes. Really quickly test that. My reticule should be lower in the sky. Still kind of center screen. I think 175 worked better. You know what? I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to leave that open so that you can adjust that. I know that you can adjust it in there and lock it in, but I forget how to do it. I kind of figured that out by accident. But you can make the reticule lower down so it's closer to the player's shoulder, or align more from the back, and then you can lock it at that point, and then it'll stay with them. So I'm just going to leave that like that. But now I'm going to show you the ground tools here. So we've got that placed down. So what we want to do now is we want to shape it. So we come out of entity mode into terrain mode. So by clicking on these peaks. And so now what I can do is I can lower by holding shift. And if you lower to a certain point, you're going to get water. So I've got a little pool of water. Now I want to blend it, so this tool over here is blend. So that's shape. This is that's terrain mode, that's shape mode, which kind of normalizes things a bit. This is constant shape. So basically, if I shrunk this down, minus and plus change the size of your cursor. But if I wanted to keep the depth of this now and make it bigger, all I got to do is do that. And now what I've done is I've lowered that evenly to that same point. Oh, I don't think I had it selected. Sorry. Let me do that. Okay. So I've leveled that out. You could store that level mode and use it somewhere else. I can blend now, which I want to do to smooth out any jagged edges. I'm just smoothing this all out here. And again, you can change your brush size. Now the terrain does auto change. As you see, there's some rocks in there as you work. But I think I've got that smooth enough. So now what I want to do is I simply want to make it so that there's a path the player kind of has to take. And I'm just going to do that here with a bigger brush. And what I'm going to do is just draw nice big high wall. Just to kind of guide the player. You obviously don't need to do this if you've got something else going on, but then you can hold down the right mouse button and use the WSAD keys to move yourself along. If you need to focus on a new space. And I simply want to come over here now, make a little bigger area. Now I'm just going to do this button, and I'm just going to pull that all the way around here, and we got a nice little border. There we go. I'm going to blend that down a bit. Bigger brush. And I just want to smooth those edges so they're not so hard for the player to look at when you're in there running around the level. Okay, and then I want to lower the ground here and just make this all water. So I'm just gonna go and alright, then we're just going to smooth that out. Huh. There, blend. And then it's not quite so jaggy. We got some water going on. And you can customize your water and do all sorts of stuff in game. I'll be showing you that next. But next we just want to add, what do we got for buildings here? I just want something simple, nice simple house. I don't have anything stellar here. What about this one, Mega Pack 1, buildings. Sure. We'll just use hut 3. We're going to hit OK. And we're going to put hut 3 right over here. Zoom in on it so I can get the orientation correct. So R rotates while you have something selected. And I think that's a good orientation because we want it to look out over the water. Bang. Okay, so we got a nice little hut. So now what I want to do is I just want to lower it slightly into the ground in case the ground's not even. Perfect. Okay, that'll work. I'm going to save the game. I am going to, now if you hold shift down, you can plant multiple bad guys. Oh, that was a hold shift. And of course you can mix up the bad guys and make all sorts of different ones. However, for all intents and purposes, that's going to be enough there. We can shoot those guys. Now I want to add a barrel. I'm going to put a wooden barrel on. A basket. What's a... Do I got anything great here? Well, maybe a box. How about a box instead of a barrel? Let's go with let's just go with a wooden box here. One there. One there. One there. Okay. Now I want to add ammo, which would be, should be down here. And I want to add shotgun shells. Now what I need to do is just zoom in here. And I just want to put these on top of these crates. So the crates are markers for where to pick up your ammo. Okay. And I'm just going to scale it up a bit. That's fine. It's good. There. Okay. Put another one here. And the reason I'm scaling it up is mostly just for visual, so that it's easy to see it, right? There. Here's the next crate. Way over here. Position. Okay, so now what I want to add is some trees. So we're going to go entities, foliage, and then I think what I'm going to do just for fun is I'm going to put in some plants first. Let's just go with some ferns. I want some simple ferns. I don't want, yeah, desert plants. Actually, I'm going to show you the terrain brush first. So I'm going to go to the terrain brush, and I'm going to choose a and we're going to make this just a little bit more more deserty here. But you could, oh, I didn't mean to click on that, sorry. And you can see how it updates the terrain, like a lot of the rock is still staying, but and then what I'm going to do is just kind of let that eep out and look up. There we go. My mouse driver just decided to update on me. Alright, there we go. And then a little bit of this. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Shrink that down, a little bit of that. A little bit of that there. And hi, little one. My little dog came to see me. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now I kind of painted that as a deserty thing. Now I'm going to put some other plants down. So what I'm going to do is go to cactus. Okay. Doing this loady bit thing here. So now what you can do is you can actually put multiples down by pushing the I button, and then you can expand the zone. It doesn't put any more. It puts. So if I do go here and I click, it's going to randomly put down a button. And if I go bigger, it's the same amount, but they're spread out more. See how that works? And it also rotates them randomly and scales them a little bit randomly. So you've got some options there. All right, it's cactus 1. How about a desert plant? Desert bush. And same thing, turn on I. I want to go here with, I'm going to turn this down. There we go. Now we got a bit of a bramble thorn there. And make that bigger again. Okay, now I'm pretty good here. Now I want to add some transition plants. Why don't we go to these guys? Okay, that ought to do. Now we're going to add. Now I just want to add some trees. So we've just transitioned. I use the let's see, tropical tree. Let's see, that's in Mega Pack 1, Mega Pack 2. Mega Pack 3, foliage. What have I got? Park trees, oak trees, beech trees. I'm gonna go beech trees. And I'm just gonna go there. There we go. Oh, and then turn off the eye. Throw you down there. Take that guy. Delete him. That guy. Delete him. Come over here. Delete him. Delete him. Just move him over a bit. There. Okay. So I'm going to save that level. Now where we're at is we're ready to, we can either paint grass or we can just take a look in engine first. We'll take a look at how that looks. There's our water, there's our zombie. Just kill him. Walk down so you can see the water. Looks pretty decent. But now you can adjust that water and you can adjust the ground. Like we've got all our desert plants and stuff. We've got our little perimeter. can go around. Holding shift will make you run. And there's the first pickup. See, I have 95 ammo. Now I have 105 ammo. Let's just shoot this dude. Since they're all facing away from me, it shouldn't be an issue. And there's our desert plants. And you can see our ground looks pretty good. Coming into our beech trees. Shoot another zombie. You can see our little plants we planted all over the place. Where is my box of ammo? There's a box of ammo. Picked it up. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. And then what we'll do, I probably want to rotate that actually. Yeah, I don't think it matters, but put a wind zone for this. It's a pretty low quality graphic. I'll probably change that out. But so what you can do here is you can actually, by pushing the tab button, and then by pushing it again, you can pull up all of your settings. So I can change my water settings by turning that on. I can make my water a little more blue, a little more green, a little more clear, a little more distortion-y waves. Turn those up a bit more. You can alter the flow direction. You can turn up the reflection a little bit. Transparency's up pretty good. I can make the blue just a little more, pop just a little more. There's also world settings. I can change the vegetation type. You can change the terrain type. You've got all sorts of options here. So I can make a desert town. So I chose to paint it, but you can actually change them all out to whatever you'd like to. Sky type's clear right now because it's a desert. But I think what I'll do is I will change the lighting in it to make it how about hazy? There we go. And so now if I look up at the sky, it's going to be a little more hazy. Vegetation quality, I'm going to turn up here a bit. Don't care about those too much. Vegetation height, I can adjust that. That's more for the grass. If you paint grass, which we'll do in a minute here. You can also adjust your camera setting, field of view, camera distance. Weapon, horizontal, field of view. Fog, I don't have any fog turned on. Distance fog's at 100%. I can turn that on a little bit more. There. Turn up blue on the fog. Actually, no, I want to turn up the red just a little bit. There we go. And brightness and contrast you can adjust globally. I'm going to make it a little brighter. A little more contrast. Okay. Bloom. I can turn my bloom up a bit here. Perfect. Okay, now tab out of that. And you can see I've totally changed the look of the area. Let's just go to the water now so you can see what that looks like. So you can see I adjusted that water. We'll go back into it. And then over here for water, we're going to go... I can turn this down. See how that becomes purple now? Turn the red down. Becomes a little more murky. More aquamarine-y. Turn the blue down. Becomes a little more swamp-like. I think we'll leave it about there. Now then, transparency. You can see right through it. Or you can make it completely untransparent. We're going to put it about there. Water ripple speed. Just make it a little more ripply. And Distortion waves. There. Not perfect, but looks like there's a little bit of wind crossing on there, making it ripple. Alright, now we're going to escape out of there, and I'm going to show you grass. So, what I'm going to do is click on the... I'm going to orient myself first. Click on the grass. Oh, that's the terrain, sorry. No, that is the grass. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, and I'm just going to go... larger. Fill in a few of these spots. That ought to be good. Run that. Of course, you can't see it here, but you can see the difference in the water that I made. Go through the bush here. Get some more ammo. Hey, Chuckles. I do like that desert texture. It's pretty nice. There. And now you can see the grass here. Let me just zip forward and kill this guy here. Alright. Now I'm going to show you the grass. If I go tab. No, sorry. So now I can change vegetation height. See how much taller that is now? So it's longer grass. I can make it much shorter, but you've got to be careful because you could see these that's about what I want. Make it a little bit wider. Don't mind filling up space that way a little bit more. And yeah, that's about right. You can also change out the vegetation type. So I've got it as lushy. I can make it grass 2, which is a different type of grass here. I can make it grass 5. That one probably looks a little better to the area coming out of the desert and stuff. Lawn grass. Weedy. Different types of weedy grass. I actually don't mind that one. Wild grass. Icy. It's more of a underbrush one. Leafy. Yeah, it's a bit of more of a forest one as well. I think we're just gonna go with, we're gonna pick like a weedy one. I don't mind that, but it's too thick. Weedy 2. Weedy 3. We'll stick with Weedy 3. That looks about right. Okay, so then the last thing we need to do is put a wind zone. So what we want to do is we're going to go over here to the house. And we're going to come up here to markers. And I'm going to come down here, wind zone. And I am going to put that right here. And I'm just going to zoom in on it here. Just like that. Properties. And then we're going to come here. It's going to play a wind zone thing, and then it's going to be done. You can do more stuff, but it's basically just wind zone. And, oh, my phone is ringing. I'll take that call later. It's my wife phoning. And basically we've got that done. I think the other thing I want to do is just put a little more decor in here. Entities. I want to just add a barn or something. What have I got? Do I have anything here? How about a shed? We'll just add a shed in. Perfect, we got a shed. And I don't need to put anything else in there. I just wanted something else to kind of spruce up the scene. But now we're going to just do a run through real quick. And then that's your tour of Game Guru, the original. Shoot him. Run through the bushes. Pick up some ammo. There's the other ammo. Whoa, get away. Oh, he's gonna hurt me. To reload. Now the wind zone. Level complete triggered. And then from there you can go into other levels and progress on through the game. You can build multiple levels and you can go from level to level with a on the wind zone. So that being said, that was Game Guru. That's essentially what's needed to make a third-person game in it. And of course, you could make that whole game. I'll just switch back actually to show you real quick here. Screen capture. And if I want to go to, I need to go here to, where's that shotgun again? Go back here. Real quick. And I'm going to put that shotgun down. Markers. No. Entities. Sorry, it wasn't used, so it cleared it up. Shotgun. On the ground. Then take the character away. Delete. Hit play. And now we're first person. Nope, I got nothing. Let's pick up the shotgun. Now I got the shotgun. And then over to the wind zone. Level complete. So there you go. It's that easy to do third person and first person. Now, of course, I'd have to drag Cowboy Billy back onto there if I wanted to use him again. However, there you go. That is the Game Guru game engine and how to set up and use most features in it. There are a few things I didn't touch on, but you will figure those out as you explore them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been a little delinquent on my game engine videos lately, so I just wanted to add one to the mix. Have a great day.